The island of Svalbard in the Norwegian Arctic. Out of white comes black. 1,000 kilometers from the North Pole is Store Norsk, the world's northernmost coal mine. Global energy demand means that even this remote mine is economically viable. But the sea around Svalbard is frozen for much of the year. Shipping goods in and out is limited to a few months each summer. However, the transportation problems for Store Norsk and neighbouring mines are melting away. Literally. Scientists estimate that the Arctic region is warming at twice the global rate. Every year, the sea ice retreats a little further. The reason? Climate change. The United Nations Environment Programme says the world's ice and snow is shrinking, and it's mainly due to global warming. But why should that matter? 15% of the Earth is covered by ice and snow. Glaciers, permafrost and frozen lakes. It all plays a critical role in regulating the world's weather, sea level and ocean currents, in ecosystems and wildlife habitats, and as a vast store of fresh water.
Ice will melt. That certainly is the single most physically observable phenomenon, and the latest data that we have is truly of great concern to all of us, not least because of the implications for sea level rise. But secondly, it's going to affect human beings. We need to understand how their lives, the basis for their livelihoods, is going to change fundamentally and in some cases disappear.
So where are the threats, and what are the likely impacts on all of us? The polar ice sheets hold around 99% of the world's freshwater ice. The annual shrinking of the Greenland ice sheet doubled in the 1990s and may have doubled again by 2005. Melting ice sheets are having global repercussions by raising sea levels and endangering hundreds of millions of people living on coasts and small islands. Melting of sea ice at current rates could lead to the Arctic Ocean being ice-free in the summer by 2100 or earlier. It could benefit shipping, but is going to harm both indigenous people and biodiversity.
The ice bear is now on the list of threatened species because it is losing its habitat. The changes in the seasons and the ice regime also mean that its ability to hunt and to feed itself are fundamentally affected.
Around the world, glaciers are shrinking, with serious implications for water resources for hundreds of millions of people. In the Himalayas, glaciers which feed the headwaters of the Ganges in India, and glaciers in China which feed the Yellow River, are in retreat. In Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Kenya have lost more than 80% of their ice caps. In mountainous areas, thawing ice may increase the risk of landslides and rockfalls. In the Northern Hemisphere, snow cover has been shrinking at an average of 1.3% per decade over the last 40 years. Along with melting glaciers, the reduction in snow cover could have a serious impact on water resources. Snow in mountain regions contributes to water supplies for almost 1/6 of the world's population. These are serious global problems. The loss of ice and snow could actually accelerate climate change in what scientists term positive feedback mechanisms. Highly reflective snow and ice reflects the sun's heat back into space. As it melts, the oceans absorb more of that heat. Growing evidence suggests that fresh water from melting ice flowing into the seas may slow the circulation of the oceans, with major impacts on global climate. Vast tracts of the world, such as Siberia and northern Canada, are permanently frozen. For the first time, parts of this permafrost are thawing and releasing unprecedented quantities of methane, a powerful greenhouse gas. But quick action is needed. We only have around 20 years to bring down global greenhouse gas emissions. This should be possible without slowing economic development. And we are going to have to work fast to adapt, to protect hundreds of millions of people from the effects of flooding and water shortages. In the meantime, all eyes will be on the Arctic and the world's other icy regions, because they have and will continue to have a major impact on all our lives.